I'm with Ben Muscolino, president and co-founder of Benel Solutions. Ben has experience working for an AMS and now has his own IT consulting and development company that assists not-for-profits on data and digital strategy. Ben's going to take us a little deeper in our conversation today and tell us why thou shalt not kill your out-of-the-box AMS. Take it away, Ben.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm going to talk about thou shalt not kill your out-of-the-box AMS, but if you're going to take a stab at it, here are some things to keep in mind. Any new implementation of an AMS, one of the things you're going to go through is a requirements analysis. And what usually comes from that is maybe a list of customizations that the AMS is going to put in front of you. So take your SRA, take your documentation, and say thank you. Don't feel like you need to implement all of those customizations right out of the gate. So consider maybe a phased approach, prioritize those customizations, and consider potentially taking some of those on initially and take a look at your budget and potentially push some of those to post-go live and see really what are mission critical to take your AMS live. Some other things to keep in mind are the upgrade path. One of the things you do by customizing your system is you take yourself away further and further from the upgrade path. And you have to keep in mind that whether you have a big budget or a small budget, time is always money. And it takes time to scope customizations, it takes time to revise requirements and solutions, and more importantly, it takes time to test. And that specifically relates back to the upgrade path, because every time you upgrade or apply a service pack, there's always a potential that things could break, and you may need to go back and fix those things. Even if they don't break, what you need to do when customizing is test those customizations in addition to testing the system around your business rules as you're applying that upgrade. So the more you customize, the more testing time you put in front of yourself for any upgrade or change to the system. And then finally, one of the pieces that we focus on is to look at going with best-of-breed solutions instead of customizing. There's a reason that maybe they don't have that piece of functionality in the AMS or have it as strong as you need it. And when I say best-of-breed, what I mean is there are organizations in the marketplace that specialize in doing certain things, whether it's online communities, event registration tools, you name it, even advocacy tools. And what you should really consider is putting your subject matter experts at your organization in front, potentially consider licensing those products and integrating those with your AMS solution. Now, in a lot of cases, you are limited by the APIs that each organization might have in place, and those are things that you're going to have to evaluate. But one other thing to keep in mind is when you're licensing another product, just like your AMS, they have a roadmap for their product. Go back and ask your AMS, do they have a roadmap for your customizations? The answer is no. So always keep that in mind. Always look toward retiring customizations in the future when possible. But that product is going to have a roadmap just like your AMS does, and your customizations are not. So keep that in mind, and it will allow you from having to shift your business processes and take more time to do that as any of the products progress in the future.
Wow, that's really a lot of great info, Ben. Thank you. So one question for you. We know that customizations can be pretty pricey. What happens if an organization has a smaller budget and can't necessarily afford the cost of the customization through the AMS? What happens in that circumstance?
It's a really good question, Terry. Just like you might get several bids from contractors to do work on your house, you should approach your AMS, get on the discussion boards, and talk to other clients of that AMS to see who else has expertise. They may have certified partners. There may just be some subcontractors in the space that do specialize in working with, whether it be integrations and working with APIs and web services to help your database communicate with some of these other applications. But there are organizations that all have different rates, that have different expertise and focuses. So I would encourage you to reach out to different IT consultants and different vendors in the space to see if they can assist you. And again, you're walking away from your requirements analysis with your requirements and solutions that the AMS provided. You pay good money to have that documentation. There's nothing that says that you can't then go share some of those requirements with outside organizations to say, hey, here is what we're looking to accomplish. Can you help us as well?
Wow, that's really interesting and good to know that there are other people that can help other than the AMS themselves. So thanks so much, Ben, for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Terry.